Have you ever known somebody that was so lost in a situation and in a moment, and their focus was purely dialed in on the fear, the doubts, and the anxiety, and you've just wanted to help them? Today on Geek Devotions, we're going to talk about how to help them and also talk about a little series called WandaVision. Hello, Devoted Geeks. Welcome to Geek Devotions, the show from Devoted Geeks who are devoted to letting you know that you are loved. I'm Dalton. I'm so glad you've hit the play button today. If you're new to Geek Devotions, we take geek pop culture items like movies, video games, and comic books, and we use them to let you know that you are loved. So if you don't watch past this moment, know this: we love you, we care about you. There is a plan and a purpose for your life. As I said in my intro, we're going to be talking about how to help people who are stuck in a particular situation. But what's inspired today's episode is actually a series called WandaVision, which is a Disney Plus original series. It's a spin-off of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, focusing around the Scarlet Witch, Wanda, and her husband, lover, robot man, Vision. Wanda's powers traditionally are considered to be reality-altering powers. And that's exactly what happens in a series called The House of M, where she alters the world, guys. Absolutely changes everything. Why? Because she's in a moment of grief and fear and doubt. And in this world, she creates a life for her and Vision, having children and being a family. Now, there's a lot to that storyline. I don't want to spoil it for you guys. It is something I would highly recommend you check it out. Go to Comixology or Marvel Unlimited and read it. It's a really great series. But this seems to be the blueprint for the series WandaVision. In the series WandaVision, Wanda and Vision seem to be living through a series of sitcom family shows. It starts off with Dick Van Dyke, and then in the second episode it goes to Bewitched, and then I haven't seen the next episodes because they haven't come out yet, but it's really fascinating. But what's interesting is that she's so wrapped up in this world. They are so completely consumed in what's happening. They're really living in these TV shows that all reality seems to escape them. In fact, there are these moments where they're like, wait a minute, what's this? Like there's something trembling and on the outside of things. They're trying to figure out what it is. But they're still coming back to the fantasy, to what this world is that seemingly, we're assuming as fans, Wanda has created. Throughout the first two episodes, though, there are these moments, these very distinct moments where things seem to shift and seem to change. The camera angle is different. It goes from being a traditional sitcom TV angle to a very cinematic and very engaging angle on the characters. We even begin to see color in the first couple in these episodes, just for a brief moment. Spoiler, they're in black and white at first. But these small moments, they're like shocks to the system, pulling her out of what she's living in, of what she's focused in on, to try to see the bigger picture. There's something else bigger happening. And it seems like somebody or something is trying to shock her and distract her attention from all this to see what's really happening. To be honest, I don't blame Wanda for being in the situation where she's diving into something. She's dealing with a lot of grief. Vision died in the movies. And there's a lot of things also happening in the MCU at the same time as this series. Similarly, there's a lot of things happening in our world today, and a lot of people are focusing in on one aspect or another. Sometimes getting so lost and deep in it, or they're checking a particular feed all the time, or they're watching a particular network all the time, or maybe they're just lost in something smaller. And what's happened is as they've focused in on these small things, or these one things, and some of these things aren't bad, don't get me wrong, focusing on these things aren't bad sometimes, but they've allowed fear, doubt, anxiety to suck them in. And you may know some people like that. You yourself may be an individual who has been just pulled in to a world that you just can't seem to free yourself from. What these people, and myself included at times, guys, I'm gonna be honest with you guys, there have been times where I've been just as sucked into a situation and allowed fear and anxiety to take control of me. But we all need somebody to kind of distract us, to redirect us. In Acts chapter 3, we see a story where the disciples are going to the temple at the hour of prayer, because this is what they would normally do. And in Acts 3, as they're walking there, they see a man who's crippled. Now, this man he can't walk, he can't work, he can't do certain things. So all he can do is stand at the gate and beg for alms, ask for help. Now, this in of itself is not a bad thing. This isn't a terrible thing for somebody who is legitimately just absolutely destitute, asking for help. But what's interesting is that in verse 4, it says that the disciples had to actually cause the man to change his gaze, to stop looking at the situation. This man's looking at the crowd, just going, please, just somebody give me something. He's focused in on his situation. Whether he realizes it or not, he's focused in on his situation as being crippled. He's focused in on his position in life. And the disciples said, hey, come look at me. In fact, it actually says that in verse 4. It says, look at me. He's changing the man's vision. He's changing what the man is focusing on so he could do something very important. Point the man back to Christ. Point the man back to the Lord. Point the man back to the only person who can truly help him. Now, in this moment, we see a healing take place that is miraculous and amazing. And I want to encourage you guys, go read chapter 3. And I think it's going to challenge you and encourage you in a lot of ways. But it's just these moments right here that I'm focusing on right now. These moments right here that have challenged me as of late, of breaking the cycle, distracting people from what they're focusing on that's really not good for them when they dwell on it, and pointing them back to Christ. And my question for you guys is, have you done that for anybody recently? I know recently for me, I've had a couple of moments where I've had the opportunity to do that. Some of it completely by accident. I reached out to a friend the other day because I was needing help for another project, and I just came to mind, hey, I need some advice from this person. Let me reach out to them really quickly. And what came out of that was a very lengthy conversation where I was helping them to remove the focus off of a very difficult life situation so they can have some healing and hope for a moment. It was one phone call that ended up being healing and bringing peace to a life situation. And the more we do this, I think the more we can see shifting taking place. If we would only fix our eyes to Jesus, if we'd fix our eyes to the author and finisher of faith, we'd fix our eyes on the one who can actually bring us hope, then the things that are trying to draw our attention will fade away and we'll have true direction. We'll be able to do what we're actually called to do. There's a lot of fear right now. There's a lot of doubts, a lot of anxieties. There's a lot of wonder about how things are going to work out. And there are friends and family and loved ones in your life who are zeroed in on these small things. And again, it's not bad to pay attention to the world around us, but what's bad is when we're so focused in on simply the fear, the doubts, and the anxieties. That's the problem. And they need someone like you. I need someone like you to help interrupt the moments and point us back to Jesus. With a simple phone call going, hey, how you doing? How's life today? With a simple moment of simply sharing a humorous story, a humorous moment with them. With simply just sitting down at a kitchen table, eating breakfast with somebody. And doing life. These small moments will change the world. So your challenge, not your question for the week, but your challenge for the week is interrupt somebody's life this week. Be intentional about it. Don't be annoying about it, all right? Don't go hounding folks. Don't just go spamming your list. Prayerfully ask God to show you a person who you can reach out to, even today, tonight, whenever you're watching this. Send them a quick text message, send them call them up on the phone real quick, write them a letter. If they work with you, stop by their desk and go, hey, I just want you to know I love you, care about you. I want you to know there's hope for you. I don't know what you're going through. I don't know what's happening right now in your life, but I got your back and I love you. Well, that's your devotion for the day. I hope you guys are encouraged and challenged by it. Your question of the week is simply this. What comic book would you like to see a series made of? What story arc in the comics, in the Marvel comics, or let's pick a DC comic. What story arc would you love to see a TV series made out of? Because honestly, guys, I'm really intrigued what they're doing with WandaVision. It's very different from the House of M, but there's just this little bit of right magic to it that I'm enjoying. So leave a comment down below, let us know. And also leave a comment down below, let us know about a time where maybe your life was interrupted, where you were zoned in on a situation, but somebody interrupted it and you found hope and peace in that situation. I also want to encourage you guys that if you like today's content, if you have enjoyed this devotion, you want to see more of it, please hit the thumbs up button. Also, consider subscribing to our channel. Guys, we are almost to 1,000 subscribers and we're super excited about that. But it's not about the people. like the number of subscribers. For us, it's about reaching people that another loved, and we want to help reach more with your help. So again, subscribe. Also, I encourage you guys to check out all of our social media. We're on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Just look for Geek Devotions. Also, check out our website, geekdevotions.com, where you find this devotion, podcast, all kinds of great stuff. So with all that being said, stay devoted. Peace and love.